Hey, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for March 2022. So on March 2nd, we have our very first astro event, a beautiful energy to work with. Although it is going to feel a little bit dark, a little bit heavy, a little bit sticky, we do have to sit in the darkness in order for us to be led to the light. What am I talking about? Well, of course, a new moon in Pisces. This will be taking place at 12 degrees and it will be at its peak energy at 12:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let's unpack this. First of all, Pisces energy is a water energy. What do we expect with water energy? Well, it's highly emotional, super sensitive, very cleansing, highly transformative. This is the last of the water signs, the last sign of the zodiac. It is a mutable energy, which means that things are constantly changing. Yes, that's right. Things are changing at a very accelerated rate in our physical realms and in our inner realms as well. Pisces energy is supposed to be very dreamy, supposed to be very creative, very healing, very inspired. It is connecting us to the higher realms, to our psychic abilities. We are very connected to soul contracts and Piscean energy. And that is the pro qualities of the Piscean energy. Let's talk about the dark. Well, the shadow part of Pisces energy is that we want to escape reality. We are so overwhelmed with the comings and goings. We are so exhausted in life that we are essentially numb. We don't really care about much anymore in the shadow part of Piscean energy. Things are falling apart. It feels like we are dying. There's good reason for that. Things have to fall apart. Things have to die in order for there to be space for a rebirth, transformation to actually take place. This is what we can expect when we move into Aries season with the new astrological calendar. But first, we have to face our unconscious thoughts, emotions, memories in order to bring them in our awareness, make them conscious, so that we can figure out what it is that we are going to leave behind, what it is we need to drop, what it is we need to release and surrender to before we can lighten the load. Why do we need to lighten the load? Well, because it's pretty freaking hard to take some serious actions, make some fast, bold, brave moves when we're dragging all of the past thoughts, emotions, memories with us. This is a time for us to surrender and cleanse ourselves. This is a healing time where we have to face our shadow in order to step into the light. So it is going to be a little bit of a tough energy. Yes, we're being asked to kind of step off the battlefield, kind of put the sword down for a second, just kind of surrender to the circumstances that are going on, take stock over what has transpired over the last year, and really figure out whether or not we're aligned with certain emotions, certain thoughts, certain aspects of our lives, and of course, release what it is that is no longer supporting our dreams, our goals, our visions. Yes, we want to find peace. How do we find peace? Well, we got to move inward because Lord knows we're not given too many beautiful indicators in our physical realms to find peace and harmony in the here and now. The beautiful thing about this new moon in Pisces is that all planets are direct. I've been talking about this. We only have a very short window of opportunity where all planets are direct. This is, kind of the first time that we've had the backing of the universe since April of 2021. And we will find some planets starting to go retrograde at the end of April here in 2022. So even though this is a water sign new moon, this is actually an earth dominant event backed by water. So what does this mean? Well, earth energy rules over our physical realm. There's a lot of changes, a lot of transformations going on, a lot of things that need to be totally destroyed, cleaned up, clean the slate in order for new things to be built. But because the water is supporting this particular moon event, this is an emotional and karmic cleansing. That is right. We have to do a little bit of inner work, really see in our physical realms what it is that's being destroyed. We really have to move in our emotional selves, make peace with it, leave that emotional junk in the past, put it in a suitcase, leave it in the past where it belongs before we can go ahead and start moving forward. We have a lot of positive energy helping us out here underneath this new moon in Pisces. But of course, we have some negative aspects too. I am going to recommend that you download your moon guide if you haven't already. That will help you kind of deal with the shadow work that needs to be processed and integrated and acknowledged in order for us to release that energy so that we can free ourselves up to align with the dreams and the visions that we're now currently inspired to pursue. The positive aspects, I'll give you a couple highlights. We have Jupiter working with us, trying to show us where the spiritual growth has taken place and where it is that it is needed. It is bringing a beautiful, beautiful outlook to us, really kind of restoring our optimism, our confidence, adding a little bit of magic to this particular manifesting moon. And of course, we have Uranus, the great awakener, really opening up our mind space, making us a little bit more adaptable to accept some of the very accelerated and dramatic changes that are taking place in our physical realms. I would say the biggest aspect that we can talk about here is Venus and Mars and Pluto all conjunct in Capricorn energy. This is a very transformative energy, of course, with Pluto at play. He definitely puts to death, a total destruction to elements in our lives to inspire us to stand in our power, to make a change, and to go after what it is that we want. This is going to initiate a brand new clean slate for beginnings to take place. Relationships, especially karmic ones in nature get initiated. New connections are made. We are motivated to start fresh. We are motivated to pursue things that make us happy, things that we are just feeling in alignment with as far as new missions and new purposes go. We do have, like I said, a lot of dark energy to work through. And just a reminder, anytime that we are given a beautiful opportunity to manifest, to enlighten ourselves, to evolve, you know, those darker force agendas are going to come creeping out, throwing all the negative Nancy narratives and situations at us to try and block us from actually accelerating forward. We do have a lot of negative Nancy curveballs coming at us. The goal of this new moon in Pisces is to override the negativity. Now that you have a heads up, you can expect there to be some dark, thick topics and themes thrown at us. Some dark emotions and thoughts take over. And it is our job to be the observer, to see them coming, to absolutely know that it is our job to do whatever it is that we can to raise our vibration, stand in the highest frequency, and make sure that those dark force agendas don't win. So we are going to feel very heavily weighted. Jupiter being a key factor here in this new moon in Pisces, we're feeling a little bit extra. And whatever vibration frequency we're leaning into, that is going to feel like volume is all the way up. It is, again, Jupiter wants to give us the most positive energy possible, but where there are a lot of tension points, a lot of conflicting points underneath this new moon, we have to be aware that maybe we will be overwhelmed with dark force energies, dark force thoughts, before we can actually see the bigger, brighter picture. Maybe we have to sit in hell before we can envision heaven. Maybe we have to be overwhelmed to the point where we just want to run away, because again, Pisces energy is the escape artist of the zodiac. Maybe we have to realize what it is that we're running away from before we recognize that this is where the major changes are needed. This is where the spiritual growth is needed. This is where we need to pluck out the silver linings and configure a brand new strategy, a brand new path in how it is that we're going to move forward, make some of these changes in order to align with the magic of this new moon in Pisces. So think big, dream big, infuse it with excitement and gratitude. And if all you can do is get through the day by trying to fight the darker thoughts and darker emotions from overtaking you, then guess what? You've done a great job.